You were never just an option. You were never meant to be someone's afterthought. So if he treated you like you were replaceable, make him regret ever thinking he could do better. Not through anger, not through revenge, but by becoming so powerful, you gave too much. Your time, your energy, your loyalty, your softness. These are not mere gestures. They are the essence of who you are. You trusted him with the most precious parts of yourself, believing that if you gave enough, he would see your worth. But somewhere along the way, he forgot that this wasn't a transaction. You didn't give in hopes of getting something back. You gave because that's who you are. Someone who loves fiercely, someone who believes in commitment, someone who isn't afraid to be vulnerable. And yet, in the end, he mistook that for weakness. He didn't recognize that you were offering him the best version of yourself, the version that was meant to be cherished, not taken for granted. At first, you might have tried to convince him. You might have asked for the attention you deserved, tried to explain the depth of your love, or perhaps you waited patiently for him to notice how much you were giving, hoping that he would wake up and realize what he was losing. But the truth is, the more you explained, the more you chased, the further you drifted from your own worth. You shouldn't have to convince anyone that you matter. You shouldn't have to fight for the basic respect and love you deserve. That's not love. That's desperation. And desperation never produces anything worth having. It only fuels the imbalance, allowing him to take more, leaving you with less. So, now is the time to stop. Stop explaining yourself. Stop waiting. Stop chasing. Let go of the idea that you have to prove your value to anyone. Your value isn't up for debate. It's inherent. If he couldn't see it, it's because he wasn't the right person for you. That's the harsh truth. And while it stings, it's a gift. It's a wake-up call to remember who you are, what you've always been, and what you deserve. You deserve someone who sees your value without needing to be convinced. Someone who recognizes the depth of your love and matches it with their own. And if he can't do that, if he can't understand that, then let him go. It's his loss, not yours. There's a power in detachment, a strength in walking away. When you detach, you take your power back. You stop giving away pieces of yourself to someone who doesn't appreciate them. Silence isn't a weakness, it's a weapon. It's louder than words, sharper than any argument, and more impactful than any plea. When you stop reaching out, when you stop chasing him, that's when you will see the truth. You'll see how far he was willing to let you go without realizing he was losing something extraordinary. It won't be immediate. It won't be obvious at first. But as time passes, as you continue to grow and focus on your own life, the void you leave behind will become too much for him to ignore. That is when the regret will settle in. He won't be able to escape the echo of your absence. The silence will be deafening. It will haunt him in his quiet moments, when he's alone with his thoughts, when he's no longer distracted by whatever came next after you. He'll start to question everything. The text messages he never responded to, the calls he ignored, the love he took for granted. He'll replay the moments when you showed up, when you sacrificed, when you were there for him, and he'll wonder Why didn't I value her when I had the chance? You won't have to say a word. His realization will be enough. It'll hit him in waves. At first, he'll deny it. He'll tell himself he's fine, that he's better off without you. But deep down, there will be a part of him that knows it's a lie. There will be a part of him that will miss the way you made him feel, the way you loved him, the way you fought for him. And in that moment of self-deception, when he's alone with his regrets, that's when the true pain will sink in. It's a pain that can't be healed by someone else. It's a pain that will only come when he realizes that he's lost you for good. Now, rise. Not to prove a point to him, never to prove a point to anyone, but to prove a promise to yourself. When you walk away from someone who didn't value you, the first step isn't just about putting distance between you and the pain. It's about rediscovering who you are. You didn't lose yourself in the process of loving him, but somewhere along the way, you might have forgotten the strength that lies within you. This moment isn't about revenge. It's about reclaiming what's yours, your power, your purpose, your peace. It's time to rise because you owe it to yourself to be the best version of who you are, regardless of whether or not he notices. This is not about the past, the time you spent together, the love you gave, the mistakes you both made. None of it matters if you don't move forward. The future, the life that awaits you, is waiting for the version of yourself that you haven't met yet. And that version of you, she's strong, she's wise, she's independent, she's beautiful in ways that go beyond skin deep. She knows that her worth isn't tied to anyone else's validation. So, start living like her. Hit the gym, not to impress anyone, but to reclaim the energy that was drained from you. Work on your mind, feed it with books, with new thoughts, with new dreams. Find what ignites your soul. Let your body and mind reflect the greatness that is already inside of you. This is your time, and it's not selfish to prioritize yourself. It's necessary. The truth is, the more you focus on your own growth, the less power he has over your emotions. You stop thinking about him. Stop wondering if he's moved on or if he's regretting his actions. His absence in your life becomes a blessing because now, every day you're choosing you over the past. Every morning you wake up and remember that you are no longer giving your energy to someone who couldn't see your worth. The more you pour into yourself, the more you create a life that he can never touch. And one day, when he realizes that he can never have you back, when he sees how far you've come and how much better you are without him, he will understand just how much he lost. He will feel the weight of that loss every time he sees you standing tall, living a life you built for yourself. But this isn't just about him. It's about your own transformation. You can't stay in the same place and expect things to change. The universe doesn't reward stagnation. The universe rewards movement, growth, evolution. So take those steps, invest in yourself. Create the life that you've always dreamed of, one that's independent of anyone's approval or presence. Watch how the universe responds to your shift in energy. Opportunities will come your way. People will start to notice the fire that's burning inside of you. You'll start to attract the right kind of energy. People who see you for what you are, strong, independent, powerful, worthy. And as you grow, you'll see things clearly. You'll understand why it never worked with him. You'll realize that you were never the problem. You were always too much for someone who couldn't appreciate you. You were too powerful, too full of life, too filled with dreams for someone who was too small to understand your magnitude. You are always meant for more, and now you get the chance to walk into that more without anyone holding you back. Your energy, your essence, your ability to grow, those are things no one can take from you. And you'll see that the right person will value you for everything you bring into the world. But for now, this is about you. This is about strengthening your core and learning to stand on your own. This is about discovering that you can be everything you need without anyone else's help. Because you will have already moved on, already built a life that doesn't rely on anyone's acknowledgement but your own. You will have made peace with the fact that the only approval you need is your own. You didn't lose him. He lost you. It's hard to grasp at first, especially when your heart feels the sting of his absence. But here's the truth. When you walked away, you didn't just let go of a person. You let go of a version of yourself that was too willing to tolerate disrespect, too eager to be loved by someone who couldn't see your value. The moment you chose to stop chasing, you began to choose yourself. And in that moment, the balance shifted. He may have walked away from you, but you, in fact, walked away from a life of settling. And in doing so, you opened the door to something far greater than what he could ever give you. It's important to remember that the pain of loss doesn't diminish your worth. It only highlights it. Losing you isn't just a missed opportunity for him. It's the universe's way of telling him that someone like you is rare, a once-in-a-lifetime kind of person. You were never meant to be someone's second choice, someone they only appreciated when they realized they had lost you. Your absence will echo in his life, and with each passing day, he will feel the weight of that realization. But it won't be enough to change the fact that he let you go. The mistake was never yours, it was his. And you need to remind yourself of that every day, every day. When you walked away, you didn't just step out of a relationship. You stepped into a new version of yourself. You gave yourself the chance to heal, to grow, to rediscover the strength you might have temporarily lost in the process of loving him. You didn't just leave him behind. You left behind everything that no longer served you, and in doing so, you made space for growth. The pain of his absence was only temporary. What stayed with you is the power to create a life that reflects your true worth. His absence wasn't a loss. It was a gateway to the life you were always meant to lead. And now that you are free from the past, you can begin to build that future with a clearer vision, unclouded by the past. The beauty of walking away with strength and clarity is that you become untouchable. You become the standard, the benchmark for what someone should strive for in a partner. He will never forget what it felt like to have someone as devoted, as loyal, as loving as you. But the deeper truth is this: he will never be able to find anyone who will love him in the way you did. You are a rare gem. And although it may have seemed like the end when you walked away, in reality, it's the beginning of something so much bigger than what he could ever offer you. There will be moments when he'll try to come back. He might send you messages, make promises, or express regret. But understand this. Those gestures are born out of guilt, not genuine love or understanding. They come from his realization that losing you was a mistake, but they don't reflect a desire for true change. He is still looking for validation. He wants to prove to himself that he hasn't completely lost you, but he doesn't deserve that opportunity anymore. The moment you choose yourself, you free yourself from being someone's backup plan or someone's safety net. You realize that you are the plan, the one and only priority. And once you see that, there's no going back. And as time passes, the truth will become clearer. You will realize that the love you gave wasn't just for him. It was for the best version of yourself. The love you poured into that relationship wasn't wasted. It was a lesson, an investment in your own growth. Now that you've released the past, you can see how much stronger, wiser, and more resilient you've become. And the best part is that you did it all without needing his approval, his validation, or his love. You found the strength to walk away and take ownership of your own destiny. You chose yourself, and that is something no one can ever take from you. The moment you realize your worth, everything changes. You stop settling for the bare minimum. Stop accepting crumbs of affection when you deserve the entire loaf. You stop giving parts of yourself to someone who couldn't even appreciate what they had. Your worth is not tied to someone's recognition or validation. It was never about proving yourself to him or anyone else. The moment you acknowledge your own value, the need for external validation fades away. You start understanding that your peace, your happiness, your growth are not dependent on anyone else's approval. The realization that you are enough, just as you are, opens a door to the life you truly deserve. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that your happiness is tied to someone else. Especially when you've invested so much emotionally. You may find yourself constantly seeking that external affirmation, hoping that if he sees your worth, he will treat you the way you deserve to be treated. But that's a trap. Your worth isn't something to be earned. It's inherent. The moment you understand that your value doesn't require anyone else's validation, you free yourself from the cycle of seeking approval. No one gets to define your worth except for you. When you understand this deeply, you stop waiting for the kind of love that comes with conditions. You stop accepting the love that is half-hearted, uncertain, or this shift in perception is liberating. Once you realize that you're worthy, you start making different decisions. You stop chasing love. Stop running after someone who doesn't see the treasure they have in front of them. You realize that you're not a consolation prize for someone who is unsure of you. Nor are you a filler for someone else's emotional gaps. You are whole as you are. And once you internalize this truth, the need to constantly seek someone else's approval becomes irrelevant. You stop losing yourself in the pursuit of something that was never meant to be. Instead, you channel your energy into becoming the best version of yourself, not for anyone else, but for your own peace, growth, and happiness. When you stop seeking validation, the world begins to open up. You stop worrying about what others think of you and start focusing on what truly matters: your growth, your potential, and the life you want to create. You stop making decisions based on fear of rejection and start making them from a place of confidence and self-love. Your energy shifts. You stop shrinking to fit into someone else's narrative and start living your life on your own terms. And as you embrace this new mindset, you'll find that you begin to attract the right people. The ones who see your worth from the start, who value you for who you are, not for what they can take from you. This shift in perspective allows you to reclaim your peace and control your narrative. You are no longer at the mercy of anyone else's treatment of you. No longer will you allow someone's indifference to affect your self-esteem. The moment you realize your worth, you realize that you can't be shaken by someone who isn't on the same level. It's a powerful place to be, because when you know who you are and what you deserve, no one can take that from you. You stop giving your power away to anyone who doesn't respect it. You stop allowing their actions to dictate your emotions. Instead, you take ownership of your own narrative and build a life that reflects the truth of who you are. When you truly understand that you are enough, you begin to live life from a place of abundance, not scarcity. You stop feeling the need to settle because you understand that the right person will see you for everything you are. You stop thinking that you have to make someone love you, and instead, you start living in a way that naturally attracts the right energy into your life. This mindset shift isn't about arrogance, it's about self-awareness. Victory is in knowing that you are enough, that you are capable of creating a life of your own, choosing one that isn't dependent on anyone else's recognition. The true healing happens when you stop expecting him to regret his actions and start expecting more for yourself. You deserve to be with someone who sees you, values you, and loves you as you are. And when you embrace this truth, you stop wasting time hoping for him to realize what he lost. You begin to realize everything you've gained in the process. Now, stand tall and walk forward. You've learned a powerful truth. Your worth was never tied to his recognition or love. You are enough just as you are, and no one can take that from you. The path ahead is filled with possibilities, opportunities, and people who will value you the way you deserve. This chapter isn't about waiting for someone else to understand your value. It's about you recognizing your own strength, embracing your growth, and knowing that you are worthy of the love and respect that will fill your life from now on. Keep moving forward with confidence and self-love, because the best version of your life is waiting for you to step into it.